right, news came out a couple days ago. Joel Embiid doesn't plan on playing back-to-backs for the rest of his career. If I had to guess, I would probably never play back-to-backs the rest of my career. The Sixers this upcoming season have about 15, 14 back-to-back games on the schedule. Okay, Joel not playing back-to-backs. Cool. He also hasn't been played in any preseason game just yet. Additionally, in that, I can't remember if it was an interview or article. This is one of the rare occasions where I actually didn't read the whole look and seek out the whole thing. I just kept seeing the clips. He also talked about that he's probably going to wear his knee brace for most of this season on his left leg. And I'm like, okay, we saw you play in the knee brace in the Olympics. He had that on. He played with the knee brace. Just turning my fan on. Played with knee brace in the Olympics. If I'm not mistaken, he played with the knee brace in the Olympics. I know he played with the knee brace all of the playoffs. He plays with the knee brace a lot. It's bulky. He wears the leg sleeve over it. I don't love it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't love it. I get the reason and the sentiment. Why? Because the goal for Joel Embiid and the 76ers at this point in his career is playoff success. Whatever that means for him. You know what I mean? Just playoff success. The ultimate goal is winning the championship, but at the bare minimum, we're talking Eastern Conference Finals, making it past the second round. If you lose in the second round, like 7 games, game winner types like vibes. We haven't seen Joel Embiid play well in the playoffs. We just haven't. That's been the mark on that's been the stain on his career. That's been the stain on his legacy, if you will, for the past 4 or 5 seasons. We know it's fantastic. We know he's great. We know he's MVP. We know not everybody will say it, and maybe not everybody will agree with me because there are a lot of good players in the league. If you ask me, when healthy, he's still a top 3 player in basketball because he was what he able to do on both sides of the ball. But if you're not healthy in the playoffs, or if you underperform in the playoffs, unfortunately, no one cares outside of Philadelphia and South Jersey. So that's the first piece of the Sixers injury news. And then the second piece, I'm sure most of you also know this by now. Paul George was that Monday's game? October 15th is Tuesday. I want to say, yeah, either Monday's game or Sunday's game. I'm on Xbox with my guys. We're playing some rec, running new 2K, you know what I mean? And my boy goes, yo, Paul George is good. What the heck just happened to his knee? I'm like, what are you talking about? So then I look up, because I got the game on the TV above me, and I see the replay. And I'm like, wait a minute. What are we doing? Why is everybody playing with my emotions? And then it turns out that Paul George has Philadelphia 76ers star Paul George has a bone bruise and no structural damage to his left knee and will be reevaluated in approximately 1 week. This was yesterday. 1 week from, this is on the 15th. Today's the 16th. Yeah. This is yesterday. 1 week from yesterday is the start of the season. I think the Sixers the Sixers season opener is against the Bucks on Wednesday, a week from today. Now, a lot of the conversation is Paul George going to be able to play? Is going to be healthy to play? We'll see. We'll see. To my knowledge, I don't even know if we know for certain that Joel Embiid's going to play opening night for the Sixers. And as a Sixers fan, can I say I'm surprised? No. Am I devastated? Absolutely. Am I surprised? No, because this is the type of stuff that happens to the Philadelphia 76ers. This is the type of injury-prone guys are going to have injury issues. Paul George's was a freak accident. It was him just playing defense, and it looks almost like he planted his leg wrong because it doesn't. From the replay I seen, it didn't look like anyone really made contact with him. He planted his leg wrong, or how sometimes your shoes get too much grip on the court, and his foot locked up, and his knee kept moving, and he had a hyperextension. I'm making it sound way simpler than it is. Nick Nurse afterwards said he was okay. Everything looks fine, and he's going to be reevaluated in a week. In terms of what this means for the Sixers in opening night, I wouldn't be surprised if neither Paul George or Joel Embiid plays. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them play like maybe the first couple of games, or they slowly get ramped up and injected into the offense and injected into the court. The Sixers are going to be asking a lot from Tyrese Maxey, because even when Paul George and Joel Embiid are back and healthy, we're going to put that in quotation marks for whatever health looks like for those two individuals. We already know Joel Embiid's not playing back-to-backs. Now, that's only 15, but he's not going to play in those 15 games, so that's a chunk that he's already going to be missing. And if he gets any injury, and Joel's had some sort of injury or missed time with injury at least a stint of time last 2-3 seasons. Similarly with Paul George, they're going to be leaning heavily on Tyrese Maxey. They're going to be asking Tyrese Maxey to do a lot in the regular season. Is he capable? I think he is. I'm very curious to see what the rest of that roster looks like. I still have question marks about Caleb Martin. We're going to see a lot of Andre Drummond minutes, depending on how much they do or don't try to ease Joel Embiid into his normal 38 minutes a game, 35, 38 minutes a game. You're going to see a lot from Andre Drummond. And what that looks like for this team offensively is two drastically different teams. One is more, it's going to be more perimeter focused with Drummond on the floor. I'm assuming a lot of pick and roll with Maxey. It's not going to be a lot of, yo, Drummond, go get us a bucket like it is with Embiid. It's not going to be any. I can't even say a lot. It's not going to be any of that. I hope it's not. But I have some faith in Nick Nurse to be able to, when Joel and when PG are on the floor, not necessarily doing ISO stuff, but when they are on the floor being the focal point of the offense, Nick Nurse is a creative enough head coach to implement some ball movement, some player movement to try to get Maxey going in some easy spots. It's not going to be a fun first probably 2 weeks for Sixers fans. 2-3 weeks, the first 2-3 weeks, I don't see it being fun. Simply just because of the nerves that you're going to be dealing with every time Joel Embiid's on the floor, every time Paul George's on the floor, maybe diving for a loose ball or falls for whatever reason. It's going to be an anxiety-inducing first couple of weeks for most Sixers fans. I know for myself at least.